Hi, my name is Ben. You're watching Image Talk. This video is meant for English beginners. Today, we're talking about 5 new images. If you need, there are subtitles available, and the entire transcript is on my website, benslanguagelab.com. All you need to do is watch, listen, and enjoy. We're going to start with this picture. This is a picture of a guy standing next to a pole. This is a pole going up to a billboard. Here's a billboard, but there's nothing on it. This is the billboard here, and usually you put things like words on the billboard or advertisements as well, right? Buy this thing, buy it. But there's nothing on this billboard. It's blank. There's a bit behind it, but that's where somebody goes to work on it, right? Somebody climbs up here and they stand in here and they put something up here on the billboard. But there's nothing here. The actual picture is of this guy who is standing next to the billboard and next to his car. I think it's his car. It's an old kind of bluish car, and it looks like they're in a desert of some kind because there's nothing out here. There's a mountain, but then there's just nothing here in the background. There's no trees, right? There's no trees, there's no bushes, there's no animals. Draw an animal. There's no animals. There's nothing. So it's called a desert. It also looks like there's some kind of vending machine over here on the side. A vending machine is a machine where you go up and you put in some money and it gives you food, a snack, or a drink, or something like that. They sell you something in a machine automatically. We also see that there's the beautiful clouds. They're this lovely pinkish color, right? They're kind of this like pinky, lighter than that. Let's see, closer to like this color, right? Yeah, they're like a nice pink color. The clouds are. We also see that there's some stuff here on the ground, maybe a box or a cup or something like that. But there's not really very much else in this picture. It's pretty simple and plain. I like the colors, though. I think it looks very cool. But that's all that I have to say about this image. Let's go on to the next one. And this is a picture of a cat. Cat. This is the cat. I have decided that his name is George because I think that's a good name for a cat like this. I don't know. I've never met George, but I think his name is George. He looks a little bit grumpy. He's got a little bit angriness to him, right? He goes, and we see that his eyes are looking at the camera. Right here are his eyes, and he's looking at us. And we see his little nose. He's got little whiskers here, and his mouth. He's a very cute cat. He's a very cute George. We also can tell that this picture was taken with a phone. Somebody took the phone, or it looks like somebody took a picture with their phone of the room. Here we see a door frame behind him. This is a door frame, and then there's another room back here. It looks like this is a mirror. So a mirror, you can see your reflection, right? This part here is a mirror, I think. And we can even see there's something else behind the cat. And there's a light fixture on the ceiling, or a lamp. A light fixture is the generic word for all lamps, all things like that. But you can also call it a ceiling lamp. But the really crazy thing about this picture is that it's not real. It's fake. It was made by AI. Somebody said, "Give me a picture of an orange cat taken with a cell phone." And the AI, the artificial intelligence, made this picture like that. That's crazy. This looks real. The only weird thing is this. What is that? I don't know, but it's not even that weird. It looks kind of normal. But the cat looks pretty real. It looks like a cat who kind of went and is looking at you. His body is a little bit weird. You can't really tell if this is an arm or a leg or anything like that. But his head looks really real. But anyways, I thought this was a fun picture, and George made me happy. So I decided to include him in today's episode of Image Talk. But that's enough about George. Let's go on to the next picture here, which is of these really crazy chairs. So a regular chair looks a bit more like this, right? You have your seat there. Let's see. Can I draw a chair? Then you have your legs back there, and then there's the back that goes there. Like, that's your sort of standard chair, right? I have an office chair. That's my office chair, which is also pretty normal. We see office chairs every day, but we don't see chairs that are round like this and have cushions on the inside. There's some cushions and a couple pillows to make them a little more comfortable. They also look like they're made of wood, right? Of trees, of wood, because it kind of looks like this stuff inside of it was carved out of wood. To carve something is when you take a knife and you kind of scrape out the wood and you make images or whatever. That's called carving. And so it looks like there's maybe letters or symbols, things like that inside this crazy chair. But what it reminded me of, it made me think of a movie that I really like called Men in Black. Men in Black. It's a very good movie, and you should watch it if you haven't already. Men in Black is a movie. I won't tell you what it's about yet, but there's a great scene where they have to sit in some chairs sort of like this. And so they have to sit in these chairs a bit like this, and they have to write something on paper. So they're given a paper and they have to write on it, but they don't have anything hard to write it on. They don't have like a thing to put it on and then write. They just have the paper and a pen and these funny chairs. And so they're sitting and they're trying to figure out how to write, and they punch through the paper. It goes, and they go, ooh. And they make it. It's very funny because they're all very serious, strong men, and they're trying to do this ridiculous thing in these very funny chairs. And so you should definitely watch that movie. It's called Men in Black, and it's very good. Oh, that's Black. Or you might also see MIB like that, and you'll remember these chairs when you see that scene. It's a good movie, and it's a good scene. But that's really all that I have about this picture. The other thing you might notice is there's some outlets down here. These are called outlets. And then everything else is pretty normal. There's the floor is made of wood as well. Each of these little planks of wood are part of the floor. What else? There's some beams up here, maybe rafters you could call them. And it looks like there's something else over here, but I don't really know. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next picture here, which is of a fantasy woodland. A woodland. There are trees and bushes and plants. And it's fantasy because we see that there's a castle. This is a castle, and there's these little creatures that have long pointed ears. Right here, you see his ears are long and pointed, and they look like little elves or creatures like that. They might be elves or dwarves, right? That's a B. Dwarves, like that. Is there an E in dwarves? I think so. I don't know. But they're little woodland creatures, and we see them riding on some kind of animal. They have maybe a little horse or something like that. And we see there's a whole bunch of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a whole bunch of them here. And they're all going together in a line. They're in a line together. Right? They're not in one big bunch all down here like this. Instead, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way back, creating a line that they're following together. And it looks like they're going down this hill and like they're going to go around and then up to this castle. And we see that it's a big castle, right? There's the entrance here, and there's a bunch of towers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a lot of towers. 8, 9. We even see that there's some flags on top, right? These are flags flying on the towers of the castle. And I wonder what they're doing. I don't know. I wonder if they've been traveling. Maybe they've been walking for many days and they're trying to get some rest finally. But it's a very cool picture. We see lots of life and these creatures, and everything has this lovely orange color to it, making it feel like fall. Fall is the part of the year where the leaves fall. The leaves turn orange and they start to fall off the trees. And that usually starts in like July, or that's not a Y, July or August. And then it goes until about September. Or maybe October still fall. October. November is where it starts to become maybe more wintry. So from like June to July all the way to October, November is when fall is. It's this sort of late summer into fall sort of cycle. No, July is not fall. August, September is more correct. Okay, I figured it out. I got there eventually. But it looks like this beautiful fall forest. So, yeah. Well, that's this image. And let's go on to one more for today, which I thought was very cute. This is a picture of what looks to be a card or a drawing that somebody made for someone else, right? To Mom from Ben, or something like that, right? It's for somebody, because up here it says, "You're the bee's knees. You're the bee's knees." Do you know what that means? Probably not. It's a really weird idiom that we have. You're the bee's knees literally means that you are the bee's knees. The knee on the bee, right? That's your knee, and you are the bee's ones. What? What does that mean? Being the bee's knees is something that's cool, like super neat, or groovy. Because groovy is an old word. Groovy was used in the 60s or 70s in the US, so about 50 years ago. And the bee's knees is also from a similar time. It's an older word to say cool. And so now it sounds sort of cute. If you say to somebody, "You're the bee's knees," it's not like you're saying they're cool. That's what it means, but it sounds cuter, right? It's a little more, it's a little more, I don't know, cute or friendly, I think is another good word for it. So if you want to make somebody smile a little bit, you can say to them, you know what? You're the bee's knees. Because it's a very weird word. And bees, by the way, are these little creatures. And they like flowers. That's why there's all these flowers here. Because the bees fly around and they get pollen from the flowers. So that's this on here, right? These little points is the pollen on the flowers. They then collect the pollen and they go back to the beehive. The beehive is like the house for bees, right? We live in actual houses, but bees live in hives. Hives. Or a hive. Hive is the one of them. You have one beehive. And that's where you see hundreds of bees living together. And they bring the pollen and they put it into the beehive and they seal it, right? So they put it away so it can't be opened again. They seal it away with beeswax. And then that pollen over time will become honey. Honey, which is very delicious on a sandwich or for cooking. It's great for making things sweet. It's very sticky, which is why bees make honey. And we might even call them honeybees. Honeybees. Because not all bees make honey. Many do, but not all of them. So, anyways, those are our 5 images for today. We started out by looking at this interesting image of a guy next to an empty billboard with his car. And then we looked at George the cat. Oh, that says Georg. There's no R. Oops. George needs an R in his name. Jeorge. No. What? How do you spell George? O-R. That's right? Yeah, that is right. That's fine. God, crazy. This is George the cat. Then we looked at these funny chairs and we talked about Men in Black, which you're going to go watch. And then we looked at this interesting fall, autumn woodland. And then finally, we learned that you're the bee's knees. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Image Talk. I hope that you really enjoyed and maybe learned a couple of new words. Remember, there are always transcripts for all of my videos on benslanguagelab.com. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. I'll see you next time. Bye.